Good day, everyone. Normally, I like to keep these videos pretty brief and to the point. However, this one may go on a little longer than normal, and please, in the background, enjoy a almost comedic sped up video of some time I spent the other night in a Warsong Gulch on one of my lobby alts, trying to break a stalemate that held for a pretty darn long time. So go ahead and enjoy that video while I talk a little bit about what's going on here. This is primarily going to be a video talking about what's going on with the Vanilla Guild, Death by Nostalgia, how we're going to be organizing ourselves, etc. This is the final video I'm going to do before launch on this subject. This is going to be the guild primer, so to speak. So be prepared if you are watching this video. Be walked through everything to have any questions hopefully answered. And if I don't answer questions, of course, please ask me. The point is, though, this is it. This is how we're going to be organizing ourselves. This is our structure. This is everything. So keep that in mind. First off, obviously the name Death by Nostalgia, that was voted on by you guys. We decided that we're ready. Fresh start server, Horde side. We have a lot of people in it already. The roster is up to 27 people now, I do believe, the official roster, and there's still about 10 or 12 more people I still need to hunt down and say, hey, get your names on this stuff right now. So if you're one of those people, please get your names on the roster. Now, if you're new to the community or you haven't had the time to involve yourself in the Discord server, don't be afraid. You didn't miss anything. Go ahead and get in the Discord server, get in the channel. There's going to be a Google Doc linked there that you can edit, where you're going to go ahead and put your name down and say what you're going to be rolling, your class, your spec, your race, professions, if you know that stuff. Obviously, the more information we have, the better moving forward. I'm going to be organizing people into groups as best I can. Obviously, I want you guys to be a little self-sufficient in this. I'm going to be busy doing a lot of the streaming and a lot of the guild formation stuff on day one, as well as answering questions, trying to help people get started, things like that. That brings us to the next big step. We're starting to assign officers. I'm starting to look at people who have been active in the Discord and the community thus far, who have been active on the YouTube channel, who have been active in streams, and figuring out who is interested in stepping up for the different officer roles. Right now, I'm specifically looking for the second in command, and I'm looking for the recruitment officer. Those are my two big ones I want to get before the servers go live. The recruitment officer especially as soon as possible, because I want a little bit of help continuing to pull people in, continue to get people interested, and that is going to be a big part of it. I need someone who is energized and who really does care about the project. So if you are interested in that, let me know. I am considering everyone, but I do want it to be someone who has that kind of higher level of energy that we're looking for. The rest of the officers I'm going to be assigning after we actually hit start, specifically the class officers. Someone had a conversation with me earlier that we should have some kind of PvP officer who helps organize some of that stuff. I'm probably actually going to be actually rolling that into the second in command position. I know that's going to be a lot of responsibility for one person, but it is going to be something that, whoever does take that role is already going to be a huge part of the group. So I don't think it's going to be an issue to say, okay, in addition to working with other guilds in the first place, organize with them on PvP, organize with our own guild on PvP, try to figure out what's going on, and keep working with others. It's going to be very important. Moving on. Day one stuff. I'm going to expect a lot of people to be in Discord at the time. I have a channel set up in Voice just for Vanilla WoW stuff. If need be, I can separate that off from the other channels and give a separate Vanilla WoW permission to people who are going to be involved in that. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. That's not something difficult to do. The only difficulty with it is actually assigning people to be able to use it. I don't see that as being an issue, though. You just have to message me for that permission. So we all have a place to go and organize. Moving on, day one stuff, we are going to be working on making sure we get the guild formed day one. We're going to have to, get some cash together to do that. We're probably going to have to pool resources. Not afraid of that. I believe in everyone that's involved in this project. I know we can do it, so be ready for that. Now to a few more details on what the guild actually is. If you haven't heard of us before, Death by Nostalgia, we're going to be doing both PvE and PvP content. I'd like to raid on weekend times, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if it's possible. We'll see about that. We definitely have the tanks to do it, especially if we have to rotate people for each day, or like Friday, Saturday set of tanks and Sunday a set of tanks. Healers, we're still maybe 1 or 2 short on at the very most. We do have quite a few healers, about 7 or 8 healers signed up. Range DPS is where we're still hurting. We have a lot of melee. We have rogues, warriors, druids, shamans. We need range DPS. That's the area we're still hurting in. So if you're one of those folks who is going to be focusing on range DPS, either for PvE or PvP purposes, you're gonna have a raid spot with us. You're gonna have a raid spot. That's where we need the most support. The only thing we're full on with range is going to be Shadow Priest. We have 2 Shadow Priests signed up right now, so no more on that. At least raid spot wise, probably not gonna be able to bring both at the same time. I hope we can. I would love to, but we're not gonna have the debuff slots available to it until Zilgarub comes out. So we'll see on that. I do like Shadow Priest, but bringing both might be iffy. We'll see. We're gonna see. Moving on, next point. Make sure you guys read the guild charter in the description for this video. Very important. I hate to harp on something, but I've had it put together for a while. It's going to have all the information on guilds that we're associated with, guilds we support, guilds that support us, our officers, how to contact us, and then, of course, the basic rules and guidelines for the guild itself, which are all very important, extremely important, and it's why I harp on it so much. Moving on. I'm trying to rally through this as quickly as possible. Again, hopefully you're enjoying the PvP in the background, as hilarious as it is to see me running around chicken like with my head cut off. When it comes to raid leading, I'll handle that myself. No one else has to worry about that. Unless I can't do it, then I'll be handing it off to either one of the class leads, melee DPS, range DPS, tank, or heals, or the second in command. I don't want to slap the recruitment officer with that, because the recruitment officer is going to have their hands full with a lot of other stuff. I'm also going to be using the recruitment officer as kind of the liaison with other guilds if it's not myself or the second in command. I'm primarily going to put that on the recruitment officer's head, but not entirely. Again, I'm going to take responsibility trying to do as much as I can myself in the first place. But it's going to be in the job description for the recruitment officer. So, I believe that's the majority of what I wanted to get through on this one. If you have any questions, of course, please contact us on Discord, either myself or one of the other mods in that channel. While not all the mods participate in the guild, all of them know how to get a hold of me or find the relevant information to answer your question. And also, as a reminder, guys, please make sure you always support the Elysium folks. They work really hard to give us the joy and happiness that we take advantage of right now. Please give them your support. If you haven't contributed yet to their server effort, obviously they're paid well in advance on this stuff. However, we can always use a little more, keep the servers up for a little bit longer. It's always important to keep that at least in the back of our heads, that, hey, this server effort is also on us, on our shoulders. So very important to keep in mind. Thank you, everyone, of course. If you've supported us already, thank you so much. If you haven't been a part of Death by Nostalgia yet, either in the Discord or on the YouTube pages, get in there, get on it. Thank you so much for participating, guys. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys live on this channel leading up to and during the Fresh Start launch. Obviously, during the Fresh Start launch, we'll be streaming quite a bit more on this channel, at least for a few days, if not for a week or so. And then we'll get into a more regular schedule when it comes to instances, PvP, and raiding. Once that does actually become a thing, we are accessible, we can access, and we can do capably. Look forward to first starting, of course, with Ubers, with BRD, with some of the more basic stuff, and then moving up to Molten Core and moving forward from there. Thank you, everyone. I have been Dan, and this has been youtube.com/The Rob and Dan Show.